How low could we actually go? This video dives deep into all of the majors, all of your favorite altcoins and meme coins, and how low we could see actual price action go, but also the timing that I expect for us to maybe put in a reversal and start to see that next breakout and leg higher. So if you want to get this video time sensitively, rather than at a delay here on YouTube, check out GTG down below and join one of the most successful and consistent trading and educational crypto communities worldwide. Let's dive in. GM everyone, the 4th of November here in Australia, 3rd of November, obviously in Europe / America. Market is in a very interesting spot right now. So we'll take a look at sort of a macro lens, what's happening, prices to be looking at to the downside, like we have been discussing over the past couple of weeks. We'll talk about some of the opportunities that I'm currently using and farming during this chop because, yeah, look, we can still short the market when there's good opportunities and price gives us some good entries, but inevitably, if the market is already dumped, you don't want to be looking for shorts at that sort of point of time. So we'll look at high time frame sort of analysis around how low we could actually go, price targets to the downside, and talk about sort of patience. I do think the bull market could certainly still be on. Okay, we've still got quantitative easing and all these things and catalysts ahead of us, but for now, it's just about staying patient and really just trading what's in front of us, and that is pretty much just it's not nice to be in altcoins, it's not nice to be in meme coins, and really playing the long-term game with actual good products and good utility and good tokens is the main takeaway here. But then I'll talk about some of the other tokens that I'm looking at, plus obviously a lot of airdrops that I think are worthy of your time and checking out. So if you are new here on the channel, drop a sub, drop a like, and let's dive straight in. So obviously historical returns, if we have a look, October did close red for the first time since 2018. That's only the third time in history that Bitcoin has had a red October. It kind of just shows you where we currently are in the cycle. And I mean, like, we've front run. Obviously, we had a green September, which is very not historic. We always usually average a negative return in September. So it just shows you that you can't really use statistics to sort of pave a path for your understanding in the current times, because as always, it rhymes, it doesn't repeat. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind as well. November is historically Bitcoin's most bullish month, but again, like we've still got a lot of things happening, macro sense. Quantitative easing might take time. Liquidity might take time to really translate into ecosystems, translate into risk on assets. So maybe it's 2026 where we start to see a bit of flourish again in the crypto market if that next leg up does occur. So that's just something to keep on your radar as well. But if we do take a look at total crypto market cap, this is on the log chart. It's coming in at support. So if we can't obviously hold this support, then it looks like we would probably trade back towards sort of the $3 trillion mark. So for me, that's fine. I mean, it's just a bullish sort of play like this. I mean, the trend could be technically lost there. Where I would start to worry is, well, what actually happens if we do lose this? We come down, okay, we retest. Can we break out here and actually get above this trend? Or do we reject from here again? And then that is the all-time high, around 4.4 trillion, say in, mid next year, Q2 next year, something like that. So something like that could certainly play out if we obviously break this support zone here on total crypto market cap. So do be aware that we might see more pain in the short term, but potentially we still could see a bit of a rally in the long term. Now, we have bounced from this consistently, pretty much, you could say nearly the whole cycle. Pretty much the low is there as well. So I mean, this trend is very much our friend, but then as always, yeah, it does depend on what happens on this next move up. Okay, we can break it, but what happens here? If we can reclaim it as well and do something like that, that's very bullish, but I don't know if we have that much steam left in us. So I'm keeping an eye on this at the moment. Total crypto market cap back below 3.5 trillion, and only a couple of weeks ago, it was at 4.2 trillion as well. And I think Craig really puts it plainly, like, don't ever feel bad for taking profits at all-time highs. If you're in a token, a meme coin, an altcoin, Bitcoin, and you're taking profits at all-time highs, you are literally nailing it, right? Because if you're taking it at all-time highs, no one has ever obviously taken profits at that level. And secondly, everyone is in profit. So it's a great time to de-risk, if you want to call it that, or take profit from those positions next time you ever see a new all-time high in your positions that you're currently trading. Now, if we have a look at the weekly analysis, and this is where I say be ready for more short-term to medium-term pain. As you can see here, we're in the mid-range. We're very steep here on the stochastic momentum. I know MACD sort of supports the same. I don't think I have MACD up. No, I don't. But we have bearish. Yeah, I mean, this is market cap, so it doesn't really work. But we do have bearish indicators here as well. But as you can see, it looks like we're posturing to the downside. We got weekly pivot below 4.1 trillion. So that means that, yeah, inevitably, we probably do have a little bit more week, or a couple more weeks of pain. Now, not necessarily, we don't have to necessarily break this trend for this to reset all the way to, say, the 20th percentile or get closer to there. It can sort of just oscillate here for a little bit and allow time to at least kind of come down and be below the pivot. As long as you're below the pivot, it means that the pressure is still to the downside of the stochastic momentum indicator, which then gives us a chance to be a little bit more bullish where we get to the bottom again, okay, as you can see here, get to the bottom, and then we rally from there as well. So that's what we want to be looking for, is that'll give me more confidence that we do have enough steam for another leg. And maybe the other leg high doesn't even take out this high. And that's the other possibility, guys, is something like Bitcoin. I'll show it shortly, but we could come all the way down, or we could come all the way down here, or we could hold this level here, and we could push back up, and we could just take out the swing highs, particularly on Bitcoin. So don't be unaware of that definitely happening. I mean, so if we have a look at Bitcoin itself, see it on the weekly as well. Still has lower to go. It is at the 40th percentile, but it's well below the 120 121, let's call it, pivot. So that means momentum is very much continuing to the downside here on Bitcoin. And I did allude to that last week and the week before as well. But I mean, we could trade, like I've been saying, we could trade all the way down here. We could take out this weekly FVG, come up, and then we could swing the high, and then that could be the top as well. And that, as you can see here, that could be May next year. So that could easily also happen. Probably the most bearish case scenario is that we do tap that weekly FVG here, way down at sort of, well, I mean, that's not technically right. There we go. So about there, we could say that we have maybe 90K could be on the cards, and there are some fib levels around the 90K region. But even if we come down here and we just kind of oscillate for a while, kind of sideways price out, we could still swing up, take the liquidity, and then that could be the lower high, and then that could be the bear cycle into the end of 2026. So there's a range of different ways that we could be playing this chart. So it's just important to never rule out a specific scenario. I see way too many people just base their analysis, base their takes on up only, whereas we like to keep it real in GTG, and we've done that successfully now for 2.5 years. So we'll keep doing that in the many years to come. If we have a look at the monthly is also very overextended. Let me just remove the drawings so that you guys can see it. But the monthly is very overextended. Same again, though. The pivot on the monthly is 120.6. As you can see, we kind of have lost this little mini range as well. It's going to get rid of my chart, but maybe I'll do it on the other one. Hold on. So it has lost this little mini range again on the log chart. So that's something to keep in mind. We are below the pivot. We've spent literally 2 years nearly up here at the 80th percentile on the monthly. So again, another sign of exhaustion, another sign that the trend might be starting to fade, and the top could be in. But I do still think that we could come down, retest 90s, retest 100K, retest as low as probably, I don't want to see us go that low, but as low as sort of that 80-ish sort of region is where I become sort of interested maybe as well. So the log chart is one that the trend does break. But yeah, those are the sort of areas that I'm looking at. But if we do take a look at obviously the swing range, let's have a look. So the 3-day is kind of bottomed at the moment. 5 days coming down, still has a little bit more pressure to the downside. The daily also coming back down towards this as well. So, I mean, it is holding up around this 106K region, but if it can't hold that, then we definitely see 100 in my opinion. 103 probably is not a bad area as well. Some fibs there as well. Plus the liquidation event on certain exchanges is around 103. But inevitably, I do think it could retest the 0.5 range of this whole range from the high, the first high that we made, because we couldn't really, well, that's a deviation above that high or a swing failure pattern. And the low was obviously the 74K low way back in April. So the 0.5 region sits around that 100K level, and that's probably where I would like. I mean, I've turned my DCA bot on as well. Let's talk about portfolio because a few people have pinged me about it. So I'm DCAing into Bitcoin because at the end of the day, like, I think it's a great long-term play. Even if I just buy a small portion of it now for the next 2-3 years, that's fine. I think I'm going to treat it more of as a savings account moving into the future. Everything else, though, I have de-risked quite significantly. So I've, as you guys know, I've been 80% stabled. I'm probably 90% stabled right now. I own a little bit of Ethereum. The largest position I actually have right now is my Pudgy Penguin, which pretty much is all the way down at like, yeah, my entry price at about $21,000. And I'm not going to call it a round trip. I just think it's a reflection of the market. But they did get up to about $60,000, $70,000. So I was up about a 3-4x in USD, not Ethereum base price. So there's a lesson for myself again. I know Kicks from the Bodogos came on our show, and he top sold his PENGU. Not PENGU, sorry, Pudgy Penguin. So yeah, GG's to him, and maybe that's something I can learn in the future is, yeah, maybe he was right with the, yeah. I mean, the catalysts were like a lot of PFPs had changed. Abstract was still on the horizon, whereas I just don't know when Abstract's going to launch. I do think it could be in the next 6 months still, but it's like holding an NFT that's worth a lot of money just for a potential TGE. It maybe isn't the best strategy when you've already kind of farmed that TGE. And we're at platinum, or a few people are at gold and platinum. Um, but if we have a look here, look, a pullback towards the point 0.5 range makes a lot of sense. And obviously, the lower Bitcoin goes, or the more bearish behavior that Bitcoin has, then obviously the rest of the market is just going to see even more pain. That's just how the risk curve works. The further down you go into meme coins, the further down you go into newer coins, the further you go down into altcoins, then and NFTs you could throw in there as well, then the more pain you're going to have, right? Because there's less buyers of Bitcoin, there's less buyers of majors, then there's less buyers of obviously memes and altcoins at this point in time. But yeah, we're not far away from potentially seeing a 5-day bottom. Weekly probably has another, what, maybe 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe December. I said this for a while. I think November will be sideways, or if not down. December's the month where I could see us starting to maybe form a bit of a reversal and push back towards higher. Ethereum, let's have a look at it. So I have said this for a while. 3.4K remains a big level for me. I want to see it kind of bounce from here, take out these lows, but also show support from this region, which was obviously a breakout as well. Same again though, it's very steep. It's got longer to go towards its 20th percentile, where we start to say, okay, well, maybe a rounding bottom is starting to play out on stochastic momentum, and then let's see where it comes in here. Maybe 3.4K is not a bad area. But I do mean we got this massive sort of FVG here as well. So it's an interesting time. I mean, you could probably say it's this top wick there. So we got a big trade range all the way down to about 3K here on ETH. And that certainly could play out in the near future. Solana honestly probably looks the weakest out of the top 3 majors. Again, no one else on the timeline was ever talking about this, but a rejection from this level was it just made a lot of sense. We were overextended on the weekly. We hit resistance at the top of this range, which is resistance literally since 2021. Resistance from the previous trend, which was support, and pretty much bang on. That would have been an excellent short. I think I was traveling, so I didn't quite get into that short myself. But as you can see here, we have now taken out the mid-range, and this looks good. And I said this last week, it looks good for 155. Let's see what the reaction is at 155. As you can see, we still got momentum here on the weekly to go. A little bit lower, but it's about 39 percentile. So it could still take another couple of weeks or 3 weeks, maybe even into December, before we start to see maybe a low form on this. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we start to see like Solana trade back towards 130, I probably do look to add a decent spot bag at that level. And same with Ethereum. Like if Ethereum does start to trade back towards $3,000, maybe not a bad area to be looking for, even if it's just a swing trade back up to resistance here. I don't mind that swing trade there. So like that's a nice 30% move on a 10 grand bag. Like that could be $3,000. So yeah, stuff like that. I'm not afraid of looking. It's just right now I know some people tried the long. I know a lot of people are still trying to buy spot dips. It's just not where I think I want to be doing that. Like I'm in preservation of wealth right now. And I would much rather see strength in the market and miss trying to time the bottom than trying to catch a bottom that just keeps on dipping, keeps on dipping, keeps on dipping, keeps on dipping. So that's just at least me right now over on this. But yeah, multi-year swing failure pattern has played out. It's hard to know whether this does go up to 7K, but we'll wait and see. Wait and see what happens in the months to come. So that's the majors. Hyperliquid, my long, I have closed majority of it. I still have the long a little bit open from 37. Didn't quite get there, but it nearly hit stop loss. I would love if it actually traded back towards 36, to be honest. If I get stopped on this breakout long, so be it. We took a lot of profit at the top already on the Hyperliquid longs. That's great. We also shorted from the top as well. Unfortunately, my short hit full TP of 40, which is a shame because I did have a 37, I think, was the last TP that I had. But unfortunately, I forgot to change it on Bybit. So that's just my mistake. But hey, really nice swing trade from the breakout, and then a really nice swing trade from the top as well. And it just clean execution on charts that really are giving, like, this is a really nice range chart. There's not many charts out there that look as clean as this. So that's why I am spending more time on Hyperliquid at this moment of time. But yeah, give me a little bit lower. I was chatting to a few people in the futures channel the other day about this, but give me a little bit lower, and I don't mind potentially looking for maybe a long again around this level. Targeting, even if it's just the mid range, you're targeting back towards the mid range. You got your stop loss here. I know it's only a 1.4, but maybe that could be a really simple DCA trade into this around this region, and you want to see it hold, because I mean, Hyperliquid hasn't traded below, well, outside obviously the liquidation event, but it hasn't traded below sort of $33 since that low there. So I would expect this level to hold. I mean, it is a large level for us to sort of see Hyperliquid hold this, but I would want to see at least these levels hold, and then that's where I do maybe get pretty keen to long slash buy a decent spot bag from here. Um, I'm not going to speak too much about ASA, but this is fascinating. Like, I mean, that is about as bearish as you can get. Yeah, a full bearish engulfing candle after a big breakout just shows you where the market is right now. He literally, so he's the biggest call in the game, CZ, buys $2 million of ASA tokens, and it literally is now below the price that he entered. So that's fascinating in itself. That just shows you where the crypto market is in itself as well. Other questions people got asked me about Link. As soon as we rejected from this high and we started putting in this lower high here, I actually sold out my Link. I updated it in the spot channel a while back as well on these lower highs. And then yeah, look, unfortunately, like I mean, great tech, they have their buybacks and stuff, but that's going to take time. So again, if this trades back towards $12, probably do get a bit interested there. I do get a bit interested back towards $12 if we do start to see it. So we're not really interested at all. This looks weak as hell. Raul literally is creating unnecessarily bullish up only information. He like this, no matter how I draw this chart, it looks so bearish. So I mean, it is going to continue to the downside here for me. Again on the weekly stochastic. He was saying that there's this bullish wedge playing out. It's like, I think he drew it like this and he drew it like this on the log progression chart. I'm like, no, bro, like that's such a 2021 take. So I disagree with him there. This looks pretty bearish. And now there is a lot of institutional, I don't know if it's unlocks as well. So that's really interesting to see as well, that there are a bit of unlocks happening and a lot of sell pressure from institutions. I mean, the last sort of reprieve here is about 1.9, 1.92-ish. If it can't hold that, then yeah, 1.5 is definitely on the cards, in my opinion. And then I'll see what the reaction is there. Maybe I do get interested in that, but right now, no, not interested in this. And I mean, you've got to remember, like, Sexy and I traded this from this breakout here. Like, this is an 11x trade from the lows. Massive, beautiful breakout. We took profits up here because we saw it starting to slow down. We saw it break this trend here, and that was the sign. Yep, let's fully get out of that trade and be very happy with that. So, I mean, there's a lot of trades. You just got to stay patient for the right opportunities and the right setups. But right now, it's not really something that I'm interested in. Jupiter, I did buy a little bit of a spot bag, but again, I have de-risked obviously more recently this past week, just purely because the market is just not really where we want it to be. So again, I don't mind this chart. They obviously have a few bullish catalysts happening, but it's an interesting chart because it's showing a lot of weakness. Even again, it's rejected from this level. And again, like how many people are stepping in to buy this? It does have another airdrop in the new year, so that's something to be aware of. But I do think that if it holds this higher low here, we could see a breakout higher. Yeah, moving into December, moving into January next year, certainly could be on the cards. AVAX, not interested at all. Literally not interested. I mean, you've got lower highs consistently now for 5 years, since 2021, so 4 years. Yeah, look, not interested at all. If it can't hold this, then yeah, it probably does revisit single digits. I mean, there's just so many better tokens out there to be looking at and swing trading. And I mean with spot allocation as well. I mean, this breakout was where I was interested, but then it failed. No volume came in to break this higher. No volume came in. It was sell volume that came in. It didn't hold the retest. It literally capitulated below and then continued. So yeah, that's quite bearish signals there for me as well over on AVAX. Everything else I'm not really interested in. Tower's definitely one. It did break out, but we might get a little retest here. So it has retested overnight. Again, I woke up to a little bit of a dump bowler or a pump and then a dump bowler, but basically, yeah, keeping an eye on Tower around 438. Could be not a bad trade here as well, but as you can see on the weekly, it is reaching that already, that big aggressive move from about 300. So probably not really interested at this stage unless Bitcoin starts to show me a little bit more strength as well. Virtual / the base ecosystem is heating up for ahead of their airdrop. So it's definitely something I'm keeping on my radar is the virtual token. Same again, if it trades back towards 107, I'll become interested in maybe getting a little bit of bag on chain, as well as some other tokens that I'll talk about at the end of the stream as well. So that's pretty much all the altcoins, Memecoins. So we'll look at just the top ones that we've been talking about for a while. So Pump Fun obviously had the breakout, fake out, failed to hold the retest. It now has retested the 786, bouncing a little bit from there today. But same again, I just like the trend you could say now is kind of out there, the resistance. I mean, so again, it had a massive breakout. It's a very sharp here to the downside. We traded this range. Massive shout out to Ray for that trade here from that range here. Rejected pretty much where we wanted it to reject from. And yeah, very happy with that swing trade as well. So it looks like it wants to come down quite aggressively. Same again. Give me a bit more time of oscillation around here in sideways price action, and then I will see a pump maybe coming towards yeah, middle of November or something like that. We can start to take a look at this chart. Now, PENGU is one. Obviously, I had that in my spot bag, but I had a stop loss. So I spoke about this multiple times. So initially, I was trading this breakout here. I had a stop loss here. Cut that. Amazing. I wanted to see a reaction here when we had this pump here, and I said I want to see a higher high form here, and then I wanted to see a higher low form here. So I had my stop loss here. It obviously got stopped out last week or whenever it was. Yeah, Thursday last week. So as you can see, it's now actually capitulated to the downside. So I don't know. I read somewhere that there are some unlocks. So I don't know if it's like the team, the investors, or something like that are actually receiving their tokens and selling it. So there's a little bit of pressure there that I might need to do a little bit more research into at this point in time because yeah, there is a bit of sell pressure here. So I'm going to remove the bull flag for now because I think it has probably broken that as of literally today. So for me with Pengu, I'm not really interested here. I'd rather own the Pudgy Penguin at this stage, but even that's a difficult hold for me right now. I really actually don't know what to do with the Pudgy Penguin. So yeah, with Pengu, this is the swing low. So again, same again. Let's use the full range of where we did break out. Then I mean, you could use the swing low, but it looks like that might start to get invalidated if it can't hold the 886. So potentially go all the way back to the actual breakout low of the 7th of April, and then pretty much these are the levels we'll be looking at. So 1.2 cents, if not 0.086 are the levels. Same again, I'm probably, again, you might get some time. We might get a nice reaction from here. We might do something like that. I would much rather buy the strength of that higher low, or even I would much rather buy the breakout trade if that's going to be the case. So say we trade all the way down here, we kind of do something like this. I might even be just patient and wait for this breakout trade to occur. So there's multiple ways I'll be looking at this trading. I've been plugged in every day now. It's good to be back. Jet lag's finally moved on, so that's good. But yeah, hanging out the futures channel when I can and doing a few other things as well. So it's nice to be back looking at charts more actively as well. You could call it addiction, to be honest. But yeah, so Pengu probably does go lower. Everything else I'm not really interested in. REKT is obviously the other one. It had that breakout. It still has bottomed out stochastic on several time frames. But again, it's a reflection of the rest of the market. So for me right now, I did de-risk it yet again because we didn't see strength. I wanted to see this breakout. I wanted to see volume come in and take this up towards the 0.5. We didn't get that. We actually have now taken out the retest. So for me personally, I have de-risked this position and I will watch the reaction down here. I think it's about 170 mil. I think I've got it. Yeah, so it's about 170 mil is the low down here. I want to see that hold. If it doesn't hold, then yeah, we definitely revisit the 786 and the 886 guys down at 135 and 70. So for me, I'm out of the REKT position for now. I want to see what happens at these lows, and then I'll look for another breakout trade with a very simple invalidation, okay? If we hold these lows, invalidation below here, and we're targeting up towards here. But if we can't hold those lows at about 170, then yeah, it's going lower, and then that's where I'll start to look for an entry again on it specifically. So that's pretty much it, guys. Doge on the majors. I'll talk about obviously airdrops and stuff that I'm farming as well. Where's Dogecoin? Dogecoin also just showing a lot of weakness here as well. Like for me, I'm not really keen on owning Dogecoin because every other time it pumped was pretty much Elon pumped it here, Elon pumped it here. So it's not really a true reflection of actual organic people stepping in. It was a reflection of an influencer, if we want to call him that, pumping a token. So Dogecoin not really interested in here as well. But again, we're starting to get to levels. If the bull market isn't over, then we're starting to look at levels where if we get down to the 886, it gives me really good, just low leverage longs. Low leverage longs, okay, below the stop loss of the previous all-time low of this cycle. And then you're just targeting back towards the golden pocket. And that could be a really nice 1.71 trade. And I mean, that's a 93% move. I know it's a large downside. That's why you got to use low leverage if you're looking to swing trade this. If you wanted to be a bit safer, you could obviously do these lows from here in January 24 or August 2024. But these are the levels where you look for low leverage longs because that's how you trade. I mean, we might get stopped out. We could go lower, all these sorts of things, but it's low leverage longs that you can really capture these massive swing trade moves if the market does really start to go around. Yeah, let's look at Zcash because that's obviously hot as well. No, I'm not in it. Like, I mean, I saw it. I think I saw it about 200. I saw it in this range here. I was like, I'm not really going to buy this chart. It's just not how I trade. Like, GG's to, I mean, if you capture the dip, so for example, if you caught this dip, where's the low to there? If you caught this dip to the 382, maybe I'd be interested in this. But outside that, I'm not really like looking to buy something like this. when it's gone that parabolic. I mean, the privacy meta's going good. Dash, we had a little bit of a short success, but it actually got stopped out overnight as well because it's seen some. I mean, that whole privacy sector is just going crazy right now. So yeah, it's interesting how the market's going. So Will says 30% in the hole with these PENGU tokens. I mean, don't forget you can de-risk a position and save yourself further downside. Preservation of capital is a trade, and being is like sidelined in stables or fiat is a trade. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Um, I'm just reading through. Yeah, in the futures chat, come join the boys. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm just trying to create some other things as well at the same time. My tier your timeline won't shut up. Yeah, I know. I know. Zcash is going crazy. I mean, it's the only thing that's gone up literally in the past few months. So yeah, look, they have reason to talk about it as well. All right, we'll talk about airdrops. The other sort of tokens that I'm looking at as well over on base. Rivet slash Tibar is apparently fintech billionaires who launched this. So I don't know. It could be something to keep an eye on over on base as base season starts to heat up ahead of its potential airdrop token. I pinged about all of these yesterday. But again, if Bitcoin's going to show weakness, I'm not really too keen on this. It looks like Zoro wants to go lower as well. For me, personally, I'm not really interested in it at all. KTA was the one that I didn't mind the look of, but same again, it's coming back in here. You want to see this low hold. If not, it's going to the 886 at 83. And then you want to see a breakout probably after this as well. But again, if the rest of the market's dumping, then a lot of these tokens are going to be dumping. So, I mean, base season, it's definitely on my radar. But right now, again, the rest of the market really isn't showing a lot of strength. All right, let's the last two things I want to talk about is the timing as well. So is the bull cycle over? Well, let's look at the halving to the time to current top. In 2016 to 2017 it was 518 days. 2020 to 2021 is 546 days. In 24 to 2025 it was 553 days. The current. So if anything, this is the longest bull cycle already. Post halving to all time high. Is the top in? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Maybe we get one more push up towards the top. It'll be the longest crypto bull cycle ever if Bitcoin puts in a new all-time high. If it doesn't put in a new all-time high, well, then it's smack bang on the average of pretty much the last two cycles at around that 540-day mark. So that was really interesting, I thought, as well. And then this one as well is bottom to top. So 2015 to 2017 was 850 days. 2019 to 2021 was 1,050 days. And then 2023 to 2025 is around that. Well, yeah, about 1,070 days so far. Again, to the top. Really interestingly, perhaps we are entering a time where this is now it's prolonging the cycle because Bitcoin itself is becoming a mature asset with less volatility to the downside and less volatility to the upside. So, yeah, maybe Bitcoin. And this is what I've been saying for a while. Maybe Bitcoin is in its own. It's its own asset class now. It's going to be trading in a separate 4-year cycle. It might even trade in its own cycle, whereas altcoins and memes and everything else will still maintain a 4-year cycle based on liquidity, based on the halving and all those sorts of things. I mean, the halving doesn't really come into Bitcoin anymore. It's not really that significant when you consider the amount of mined tokens already. So yeah, I don't know. It's good to look at the data and see what's happening out there because yeah, we definitely could. The top could be in, and that's something that I do want us to be aware of, okay? All right, so airdrop farming, I want to talk about all that. So Solstice is the one. You earn flares on the platform. We've been talking about it. There's a few people in the server who have been doing this for a while. I'm inside. I've doubled down this week and added more liquidity and done some of the degen multipliers down here as well. This one particular is a bit risky. It's a 15x multiplier, but it will go eventually to 0. I think they expire in March, so you could lose maybe like a percentage of what you allocate, but you're earning a lot of flares. So I'm currently earning 49k flares a day for this. I think Solstice will cook, but you want to be inside the top 1%. Otherwise, the distribution and the dilution of the flares, because there's like 6.5 billion flares already being distributed. But I do think this, TG will be December from memory is what I'm seeing on the timeline. So definitely want to keep an eye out. And I mean, this is on stables, so you are earning a little bit of yield if you hold their stable coin on the platform. I did a video yesterday on MetaMask as well. So if you want to go watch that, guys, you can go check it out. So you can go pretty much, yeah, it's just using the MetaMask wallet to trade, to bridge, to swap, and all those sorts of things to farm their reward system, which is separate to the airdrop, but the reward system will pay dividends for the airdrop in the future. I assume it does launch in 2026. Obviously, if you are not geo-blocked, but you can obviously run a VPN. Yeet is also another one. They have 40% airdrop. Craig and I have been speaking about this for a long time, but you can check it out. We're giving away $1,000 per week on our show if you come over and trade some volume. So check it out, guys, because right now this is definitely probably one of the better airdrops that will come in 2026 as well. OpenSea have really moved off there, obviously, because NFTs aren't showing a lot of strength. But Chess Season 2 ends in 10 days, 11 days. So do keep an eye on this if that's something that you want to be ticking off these treasures over time. Zeet is another one that I really have been enjoying. Literally come over and have a look at the signals. There's so many different opportunities over on here. I'm on the leaderboard. The ones I'm looking at right now is Myriad Markets. I'm trading on there, trying to make some money, but also trying to farm their airdrop. You get 1 billion tokens, 1 billion points, which will be, that'll make me go crazy up the leaderboard. So that's why I'm kind of doing it. IOPN is another one I've been yapping about as well. Solstice, obviously, talking about as well. They're the only ones. DeSci has a really short one that I'm just trying to farm, but we'll wait and see whether that is even worth it or not. But 10K. So I like the ones that give you cash or really clear goals. Like 1% of the SLX tokens. Who knows how well Solstice will do. But 300K, so it's 100K per month. Like that's pretty clear how much value that is for the top 100 yappers. So keep an eye on all these InfoFi platforms. This is why having a social presence on Twitter is just so beneficial, because in a market where it's chopping sideways, you can really farm a lot of these opportunities. Woolchain's another one that Craig and I have been doing for a while as well. Same again, you can check these out. They have a range of different InfoFi platforms. Not many people are talking about these ones. So if anything, if you're if you have a smaller account on Twitter, probably go to Woolchain. You can sign up. The links are in the airdrop referral up the very top of the Discord channel. It's up in the partnerships bit. But you jump on there and basically you can start talking about these as well. And these have some pretty good rewards, which not many people are talking about as well. And then the last one, obviously, Myriad Markets. I want to see some new markets coming in, but it's a new month and they haven't really released any new markets. So I'm currently waiting for this. But yeah, farming points every day. Come in here, click this, and you can claim points every day. That slowly accrues over time. You can obviously use points as well to trade as well if you want. I took a really. I'm on a punt, but I'm on one of the highest grossing films. So I'm on Zootopia. I did a bit of research. I think Zootopia could do pretty well with highest grossing. So I took a punt on that with my points, but otherwise I'm trading pretty much USDC only, purely because that does allow you to go up the leaderboard with more volume as well. But I'm not doing very well. I'm only 1800, so I know people in GTG are currently quite high as well on Myriad Markets. So yeah, I'm 1800, so I need to farm a bit more volume, I think, is what I need to do in the coming weeks. But I want new markets. So I did well with a few different tokens. So the prediction markets channel, I have been sharing what I'm doing over there. So keep an eye out in the server as well. But guys, obviously, if I'll drop the recording here. Let me know if you have any questions. More than happy to help you out. But if you're new here on YouTube, drop a sub, drop a like, and check out GTG if you want this analysis time sensitively, not at a delay. And obviously, you can trade with us. We've been trading pretty successfully as well. If we come over to obviously GTG, we've had some consistent wins. I mean, like, look at these wins just in the past few days. Hyperliquid, Dash as well, Mega, ETH as well, BTC. Great shout out to everyone who's been doing that. But yeah, it's great to be part of a community who's consistently trading and winning over time. So yeah, check out GTG. It's in the description down below, and you can join us. We have dropped a permanent sale to try and get more people in there to help educate and fast track your crypto journey. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.